Welcome to another Bloom Room with Amy E. Reichert and Heather Webb. You might notice we're missing that guest today. We do have a guest. Priscilla Oliveras is going to be with us. She's just running a smidge late, so she's going to join us when she can. And in the meantime, Heather and I are just going to get started.
We are, and we have fun stuff to share anyway, because it's kind of a themed week for us.
Yes. So we are talking Key West. But do we want to do Poppy News first?
Yes, sorry. I was trying to hurry up and pin us to the announcement so that they can we're there. And my phone was spin, thinking. Okay. Yes.
All right. Poppy News.
Poppy News. All right. So we have not a ton of Poppy News this week, but Amy and I have good news.
So part of it being our show is
we get to share good news. Okay, a Kindred Spirit Supper Club. I don't know why I said it's Kindred Spirit Supper Club. Yes. Was featured in Pop Sugar is one of the best books of the year so far, which is excellent. And it is also being featured in Amy's college alumni magazine. And what was your college, Amy?
My undergraduate was St. Norbert College. So for any people who went to St. Norbert in De Pere and you get your little magazine every month or season or how often they put them out, they will actually have a chapter. They put a reading section in it. But they took a section from the middle of the book, which is kind of weird, but whatever. I'm cool with it. It's fun publicity. And St. Norbert alumni are proud, loud and proud. So very excited about that.
Yeah. Loud and proud. We like that. And you have a congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, also, 3 words for goodbye, you guys. It's out in 2 weeks. And I'm very excited, actually, to announce a giveaway. Yay, thank you, because I have no more arcs. And they're gone.
My next books that I'm reading.
Yay. So there is an awesome 10-book sweepstakes for 3 words for goodbye. We're giving away 10 copies to a book club, an interested book club. And then we're going to meet with said book club after you've read it, and we'll figure out the date and the discussion time, et cetera, et cetera. If you would like to enter, and more than one person in your book club can enter, so, hey, that kind of tips the scales in your favor. If you'd like to enter, go to my Facebook page, Heather Webb Author, and I have it. It's right there up at the top, and the link to enter is there. I'll probably post it on Instagram tomorrow or the next day. But get in there. Get your 10 copies for your book club. So, yeah, that's. I'm afraid that is all the Poppy News this week, isn't it?
All we've got. All we're doing. But that's okay, because it leads us into our fun segment because it is Key West. So when Priscilla gets here, we're going to talk about her book, Anchored Hearts, and her first book, Island Affair, which take place in Florida, specifically in the Key West area. So to celebrate this, should I go first or do you want to go first?
I can go first, and then you can make your little beautiful thing. And listen, you guys, Key West, first of all, it's obviously an excellent escape place to go. Just like Priscilla's books are excellent escapes if you're looking to go elsewhere. And so Amy and I decided we absolutely had to do Key West themed goodness this week.
I even have palm tree earrings on.
Yeah, you're
be festive.
Bringing your A game. And didn't you just vacation there too?
I did. We did spring break in the Florida Keys. We spent most of it in the Middle Keys, and then we did a day down in Key West. I love Key West. I love the Keys. So I'm super excited to talk to Priscilla about it when she gets here.
I would also like to say I got text messages from Amy while she was on vacation in Key West telling me all the food she was eating that was amazing.
Yes. Lots of yummy things.
She was not shy about that.
No. You know.
So for my Key West theme thing this week, I absolutely had to make a pie. So I went looking for a good recipe. I think I found one. I think it's called Mom's Time Out is the website, which that's exactly
the first picture comes from?
That's where the first picture comes from. So this is from Mom's Timeout.
Isn't it beautiful?
It's beautiful, and it's an excellent food website. And plus, I love the name because this mom needs a lot of timeouts right now. So I'm just gonna like give myself a bone here. I was making lots of things that night. I made a whole meal of Spanish tapas. I made 3 different dishes. I made a fancy cocktail. I had a girlfriend over and my family and everything. So I was like going all out. And the Key West pie, the key lime pie was exactly what I was going to bring to it. So you have this beautiful pie.
Oh, Priscilla's here.
She's here.
Hey, hi, Priscilla.
Hi, I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. You're here. You're right on time. And I was just about to share. Amy, show her that beautiful pie that I
This is the picture of the key lime pie that she took the recipe from.
Okay.
Full.
But then the pie that I actually made looked like this.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
That could be considered a Pinterest fail, I think.
I'm not very good at the
lime
pictures.
zest.
Yeah.
Really would have fixed it.
It's drooping and sad, but you know what? It was super delicious, and there was none left over. I mean, I had to pause the savages in my house and take a picture of it quickly before the whole thing was gone.
Before it was all gone.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's the best. That's the best test. Are there any leftovers? Right.
Yes.
If none, then all good.
Exactly. So now that you're here, I'm going to do our quick little intro. Hey guys, it's Priscilla Oliveras, and I hope I'm saying that right because normally I would check pronunciation beforehand. So Priscilla Oliveras, did I say it right?
Yeah, that's close. That's good.
Close is not right. All right, but I'll take it. So welcome. We're so happy to have you here, and one of our newest poppies. We're so yay!
I'm inside. I'm like, yay!
We decided because you're going to be here, and your books celebrate Key West and the area around it. It is a Key West themed night.
Ooh, nice.
I already showed the audience, but I do have little palm tree earrings.
Oh, how cute! Oh, I love those.
Thank you. They're kind of fun and festive, but they're very pokey. They have
are they
sharp edges on them, so you have to be. They could double as a weapon as needed.
There you go. In a book, anybody writing romantic suspense, there you go. Right. These beautiful earrings, and in a pinch,
they double as a weapon.
Yes,
exactly. So I was going to the other little piece. I was going to do a quick little key lime pie martini.
Oh my gosh!
Which
lucky you.
To make sooner rather than later, so I can drink it.
Yes, drink up.
That's right. So key lime. I don't have a martini glass. Plus, martini glasses are annoying. They tip over. They're no fun.
Yeah.
But the first step is you want to get the rim wet. I'm just using a lime wedge. Mm-hmm. And then I have a mixture of crushed graham cracker.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is very important. And then because we recently went to vacation there and we tried key lime pie at every restaurant we went to. It was very important as a family to find the best one. And we all agreed the best key lime pie that we had tried was from Keys Fisheries in Marathon. And
really?
Oh my God, it's great. It is spectacular.
Keys Fishery. I'll have to remember that next time we drive down.
And their smoked fish dips really yummy too.
Yeah.
But they had like you could. It wasn't overly sweet, but you could like feel the sugar crystals in the graham crust.
Oh, really?
I put a little, but like it was a good thing, not a bad thing. So it was like it was just cooked perfectly and crisp. So I put a little bit of granulated sugar in here to kind of give it that same vibe. And now I'm gonna. Yeah. Get it wet enough.
Oh my gosh.
Live fail on TV. It's sort of like that.
No,
that works.
I'm already salivating. I'm like sequestered up in a room at my niece's house with nothing. I'm like, oh man, I need a martini. I need this key lime pie martini.
I just sampled beforehand. It was so good. So to save time, I made the mixture up in advance, but it's 2 ounces of vodka. It's supposed to be vanilla vodka, so I added a little splash of vanilla.
Okay.
I don't know about vanilla. A half ounce of key lime juice or regular lime juice. I used regular lime because the little key limes are really small and a pain in the butt.
Yes.
Then 2 tablespoons of cream of coconut, which I'm probably one of the few people in the world who just have it sitting in the fridge ready to go. 1 ounce of coconut or pineapple juice, an ounce of heavy cream, and then you mix it all. Oh, I have to put it in the martini shaker. That would be the important part.
And I think if we were all having them together, then like the calories wouldn't count. So everybody who's having one right now with Amy, no worries.
It doesn't
No
count.
worries. Calories never count. Give it a shake. I'm pouring it over ice and giving it a shake.
Oh, someone's asking about key lime pie Kit Kats. I've heard of them, but I cannot. That to me, like the Kit Kat is like
them.
I know.
I'm not a Kit Kat fan. I don't like. I'm not a wafer fan. And then just pour it into your glass.
Yeah.
And it's yummy. It's not coconutty or pineapple-y.
Yeah.
It's just got a nice creamy citrus punch. I haven't had it with the graham cracker crust though.
Yeah.
Well, and the other one
goodness.
that I made doesn't have the cream. It has the creme de coco, or not creme de coco, but the coconut cream milk.
Yeah, like the milk. Mm-hmm.
Like the thick, but it doesn't have the So
it's so.
Oh my goodness! I'm gonna
Throw it
message
in
you
the
after this for the recipe, or are you putting the recipe in the comments or something?
In the link.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
It's super.
Yeah. My sister and I need to go out after dinner. I'm in the Vegas area visiting. My sister's kids live here, and so I'm visiting my grandniece and nephew. But we're gonna run out to go pick up some adult beverage stuff after.
Well,
nice.
And I know you just turned in a book, so you have earned those adult beverages.
Yes, I just turned in revisions last night, 11:59 p.m.
Congratulations.
So I was like, I want the timestamp to say that I got it in on the deadline day.
Yeah, I sent mine in at 9:30 on the deadline day, and I had been going since 7 a.m. or something. And
yes,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been known to send them in at like 5:30 in the morning because I've been up all night. So yeah.
I have done that too. And one of my friends said, Chris, sending at 11:59, they're not going to see it until the morning. You have until the morning. But I was done, and I was done with it. And I was like, also at like about 8:30, I was like, I just don't want to see these people anymore right now. I need a break from these people. So, I was ready to hit send. Anyway, but so maybe I'll ask her if she feels like having a key lime pie martini tonight.
They are so good. They're very, very drinkable. My daughter even took a little sip. So, and she likes.
It's got milk in it.
Wasn't a big fan. She's 17.
Oh,
so in Wisconsin, it's totally legal for teenagers to drink in the presence of their parents. It is. I could take her to a bar, but that's beside the point. But anyway, she didn't really like the vodka part. She liked all the other flavors.
That makes sense. That's a good sign, actually.
Yes.
That's the flavor. So we are so excited you're here today to talk about yourself and introduce yourself to the Blooms. In doing research, I was excited I always love reading people's bios on their website.
Oh.
Fun. And I absolutely loved that your introduction to romance was when your dad you his Harlequin romance novel during a hurricane. I think that's the best story ever. Love
that's my papi. He's still a big romance reader, romance fan. He doesn't critique my books or anything ahead of time because from the very beginning when I started writing, he'd always be like, "It's the best book ever." So I'm like, he's not really like the critique.
No.
But my mom and my sister is like my first like brainstorming partner, kind of my first beta reader, and then author friends as well. Like Sonali and I exchange, and she was a huge cheerleader helping me down that last bend with revisions on Monday. But yes, so Papi's always been. My mom's a reader, but my dad, a big romance reader. I remember he would leave for work and there would be like Mass Market was a good size for his back pocket. So there would be a Harlequin romance or like an historical, any kind of mass market romance in his back pocket.
Wow.
For breaks. Yeah. And
that tells me, like, that to me is a man who is confident with himself because he doesn't care what people see him read. He's going to read what he wants to read. Damn it.
Yes, yes. But so he did. I was a sophomore in high school, and I had read, like Sweet Valley High and all, those kind of, but not. So my first adult romance, it was probably like day 2 in a shelter in the Keys. We lived in Key West at the time, and by day 2, 15-year-old me had already like blown through whatever I had taken. And this was pre-cell phone, pre-Game Boy, pre any of that. And I'm just like bored out of my mind, bothering them. And Papi, as part of his hurricane supplies, he had taken a bag full of Harlequin presents and romances.
Aww.
And so he pretty much was, take one of my books and read it, basically, like get out of our hair. And I don't remember, people have asked, what book was it? And I do know it was a Harlequin romance, not the presents, but I don't remember the book itself. But that was my introduction to, and then Papi had a whole library, that I could blow through.
So basically, if I'm in a hurricane, I want to be stuck with your dad.
Yes.
Yeah. So that seems like he's brought the important stuff.
Yes. So.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Someone said they read Sweet Valley High. Literally, that was my favorite series for a few years as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like that much of a shelf. And then you graduate to V.C. Andrews' Flowers in the
Oh
Air.
my gosh. Yes.
Absolutely.
Wow. And then my sister and I, we discovered Jude Devereaux. And, I remember A Knight in Shining Armor came out and I was visiting her. And so she had bought it and I hadn't gotten it yet. And I knew that when it came like the day before, she had started reading it before bed and I wanted to read it. And so I stayed up all night to read it, to finish it. Cause I knew when she got up in the morning, she was going to take it from me because she wanted to read it and it was hers. So I stayed up all night so I could finish it off.
Oh,
good. I love the classics.
Oh my gosh.
Tell us about your lovely romance.
Yeah.
Set in Key West.
Sure. So
Anchored Hearts cover. There it is.
Oh, there it is. Yes.
Love it so much.
Oh, that just came out in April, and I was going to show you Island Affair, which is book 1. It's a 2-book series for now, but I don't have Island Affair. I didn't grab Island Affair, but I did, and this is kind of why we were late. This is my first book translation was Island Affair, sold in France, and so this is the French cover. It's so beautiful. The French title is Sous le soleil de Key West, so like under the Key West sun. And actually, Anchored Hearts just came out. I don't have a copy yet. Its title is Les Amants de Key West, so like the lovers of Key West. But since we're in Vegas, my sister had to run some errands, and we decided to swing by the Paris Hotel and take some pictures. But we didn't think about the timing, the traffic, and so that's why we got late because we got stuck. But so we just came back from. So this is Island Affair, and
Just
if you want to watch on social media, I'm going to get ready to post some pictures of Les Amants de Key West in Paris.
Yes, excellent.
Vegas, Paris.
Isn't Island Affair and Anchored Hearts, they're both on low price for ebook right now?
Yes, they're both. I know both are Amazon. Anchored Hearts was also on Apple, so I don't know what's matched, but they're both like $1.99 or $2.99 for their digital books.
Nice.
So if anybody wants to head to Key West for the weekend, you can feel free to pick them. Yeah, or the year, or the day, the hurricane season. But so there are not any more books about my family.
About the family. I think the family.
I will say. Okay, so the series features, like I write, if you're a new to me reader, I write romance, but with a Latinx flavor. So there's predominantly there are familia themes throughout. There's usually like one main familia, and then each book is a standalone. But so these 2 books, you'll meet the Navarro familia, and they're 4 siblings, 3 brothers, a sister. They're all firefighter paramedics in Key West, like their dad, like their papi. Island Affair is Luis. He's the second brother, and it's a fake relationship romance. Luis has a little bit of a superhero complex. He's got something that happened in his past that he's not wanting to deal with, and he doesn't deal with it by focusing on everybody else's problems and helping them. And in walks Sarah Vance. She's a social media influencer who has arrived in Key West for a family vacation with her family's a little judgmental. They're all MDs. They're all doctors. She's a social media influencer. I'm kind of like the oops baby, so way younger than her two older siblings. And so it's already going to be like a stressful vacation. And she lands and she finds out that her on again, kind of off again boyfriend has decided to stand her up. And she doesn't want to show up at the vacation home, like, you know, having that guy bailed on her. And she runs into Luis and convinces him to pretend to be her boyfriend for the week. So that's Island Affair. And so fake relationship. And then Anchored Hearts is a second chance romance. It's with Ana Maria, the sister, firefighter paramedic, but she's also an athletic trainer and a nutritionist. Thank you, Sharon. She's also an athletic trainer and a nutritionist. And her high school boyfriend, when they graduated from high school, their plan had been to kind of go off and see the world. And she assumed come back and Key West would be their home base. He's wanted to be a photographer, but he had a big rift with his father, who didn't want him to go away, wanted him to take over the Familia restaurant in Key West. And so when they graduated from high school, Alejandro left and Ana Maria stayed behind because their papi was sick, and she never went to meet him, and Alejandro never came back. So it's 12 years later, and the prodigal son has returned. And they're both of their mommies are best friends. And so there's a lot of meddling mommy antics where they're convinced they need to be together. And so it's Ana Maria and Alejandro's second chance romance.
Love it.
And
love it.
The next one, Michelle, I will say there is a younger brother, Enrique, who I adore. And if you, I'm not going to say anything other than you meet in Anchored Hearts, you meet the woman that I think is the right one for Enrique. However, that's not the book that I just turned in. Enrique has let me know he's not ready to settle down yet. And so I'm giving him some time to sow his wild oats over here. And my next series is about a group of foster sisters that form a mariachi band, an all-female mariachi band in San Antonio, Texas.
That sounds amazing and hilarious.
So I'm really excited. It's a loose retelling of Romeo and Juliet a la West Side Story. And so it's gentrification battle lines and battling. There's a mariachi band competition, and so they're battling mariachi bands, and the hero and heroine are on different bands, different sides of the gentrification.
That's hilarious.
So that comes out next, but Enrique will hopefully, I have a story for him. It just depends on, contracts and how all that works and that kind of thing.
Sometimes it's up to the publisher and not us.
Yep.
Yes.
Best way to make sure you're going to get that book is to tell everybody you know to buy her other books.
Yes.
Thank you.
So then the publisher will know that people want more, and then Priscilla can write them.
So, but it's been such a treat. I like taking readers home to Key West with me. I lived there junior high through all of high school, and then early college and early marriage years when I would come home to visit, my family was to Key West. And I will say book one, because Sarah's a tourist, they do a lot of touristy things. It's kind of like my welcome to my island if you've visited. I hope that some of the things they do and places they are where they are will maybe like evoke your memories. And if you've never been there, then I hope you do feel like you've got your toes in the sand with them at South Beach and you're dancing at El Mesón de Pepe.
Yes.
And then this one is more an homage because Alejandro and Ana Maria grew up there. There are a lot of like high school memories, things that they did that like my sister and I did kind of growing up there. And you'll see different areas, but they talk about hanging out at Higgs Beach and Astro City Park, and that's what we did. And so you'll see different parts of Key West, but it's also kind of like an homage to those of us who've been lucky enough to grow up there.
That makes me think of that. There's a, and I can't remember the name of it. It's a Christmas movie, and it's Ryan Reynolds and a blonde actress who I've seen her on several things and could not tell you what her name is.
Oh gosh!
But
Ryan
he goes
Reynolds
home because he has to for various reasons. And again, they were best friends or something when they were young, and then they end up having this second moment.
I'm gonna have to Google that.
Romance, and it's fun. It was on Netflix streaming for a while. I'm not sure if it's still there, but I can look up the name and Put it in the comments. But it has
if you see it, yeah.
the vibe sounds a little bit similar.
Okay.
You know, all the high school memories that come up, and he's trying to prove that he's this cool guy now, that he's like Mr. LA.
Well,
but
he was like a big nerd when they were in high school.
Super nerd.
Okay. I guess I didn't realize it was a Christmas movie.
Yes.
And then he comes back hot because Ryan Reynolds.
Because he's Ryan Reynolds, yes.
Oh, did he? Yeah, that's what Sharon's asking. Is that the one where he used to be like really heavy and he lost a lot of weight?
Yes.
Yes. I saw that one. Same. I'm with you, Amy. I didn't remember it as a Christmas movie, but it's a really good one. I have
to go back and watch that.
Right, and now I'm like, now I need to rewatch that because it's been too long.
Random. I've watched like every Christmas movie out there. Well, that's not totally true. There's a lot of Hallmark movies I don't think I've seen. They've started generating them like crazy. So.
Oh my gosh! In our house, Mommy and Papi, like every Hallmark movie that's coming out is on our DVR. Even Papi has that, that shirt that you've probably seen. This is my Hallmark movie watching T-shirt.
That is hilarious.
He has
that. So are we, speaking of books and things that we love, are we reading anything else, you guys? We always like to share something that we could recommend or that we're about to start, or et cetera, et cetera. Priscilla, are you reading anything right now that you would recommend?
I can totally recommend. I have an ARC, but it's coming out in August. Farah Rashan's. It's the second. It's the dating playbook. So it's book 2 in her. It's a series. Last year it came out with the Boyfriend Project was book 1, and so now book 2 is coming out. And it's a really interesting premise. The 3 girls met because they were all like catfished kind of by the same guy. And they found out about it, like they connected because 2 saw one like posting on like through social media. They figured it out, and so that's like in book 1. That's how they meet right away, like in the prologue or in chapter 1. So book 2 is coming out, and so I've just finished that one. I'm trying to think. I'm like reading a whole bunch, right? And then someone says, "What are you reading?" And I'm like, "What's my name again?"
Oh, but that's great. You don't have to tell us.
Your deadline. You can't remember anything.
No, not at all.
So, but I would totally recommend that one. And then Sonali's that just came out.
So good.
Oh, yeah, she's such a good hero. So if you haven't read Incense and Sensibility, India is like the lady that I want to go do yoga with, and I want to, hang out with her. But I want Yash for me. So
yeah, I am always a very big fan of her romances. A lot since the first one. Crazy. So good. So I am reading. It is a book I've had for 1,000,001 years, and I'm reading it because my next book has some elements, some time elements in it, and I have just heard so many good things about it. I'm finally diving in to Tiny Cracker's Wife. It was out in 2003.
Yeah, I haven't read that either.
That's in my top 3 of all time.
Yeah,
I love that book so much. I cried like after chapter 4 or something. I cried every chapter.
Yeah.
I got teary-eyed. The emotional quality of that book is so brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay, I have to really.
The movie sucks. Don't bother. Although I just heard they're making a series of it on Netflix, which I'm excited about, because I think the series would actually be good.
Yeah, that could be really, really good. Yeah, because I'm revisiting all sorts of things that might just provide some emotional inspiration.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a lot of that I can find in here.
Absolutely.
So
it's such an angsty love story, and it's complex and it's beautiful. Oh, love it so much.
Watching the first couple seasons of Outlander, I forgot how many
research
were in the first few seasons of Outlander.
Oh yeah,
Outlander.
Jamie.
That's just for research. Jamie. If I have to watch the show for research, fine. Twist my arm.
But I'm actually, I started, so I almost always share an audiobook, which makes this
good.
Very hard to see. But this is the Kitchen Front.
Okay.
By Jennifer Ryan, and she wrote the Chilbury Ladies Choir.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it was in World War II, and it was these women that sang during the war to raise money and stuff, and it was big bestseller in the historical market. But So the kitchen front there is a show that the BBC is hiring a hostess. Mm-hmm. And so there are 4 different women in the story that have various reasons why getting that gig is going to change their lives. But because of the bombings, the raids in London, a lot of their food supply is cut off. So you've got, a chef who's trying to make do with all the rations. You've got a servant woman, you have a society woman who has, who's trying to escape her increasingly volatile husband, and then there's another person. But anyway, it's quite charming so far. I mean, what I love about her books is there's that war backdrop, but it's not like you're reading Warfront.
Right.
It's all the sort of interpersonal stories, and those are, and not like you're fleeing for your life kind of thing,
right?
But like things like this, and it's really interesting, and I'm finding it really interesting the recipes that they're making on rations. She obviously did her research, so it's charming. It's fun so far.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
I think it's interesting, like because the idea of like the war is a backdrop, and so it is affecting them, but you're also seeing like their everyday life, that it doesn't have to be a book, like you said, that it's not, the war isn't like in your face, but this is how these like whatever, regular everyday people who what was happening and how what they were doing to find a little bit of joy, to find a little bit of normalcy while they were still fleeing for their lives and and worried about their loved ones and and all of that. It's interesting.
No, it's an interesting take. It's a fun take. Fun if you have fun during the war. Sharon, I'd be curious to hear if you enjoyed it. So far, I'm really liking the voice of the book. It's fun.
Oh, is it? There's another, if we're doing audiobooks, if you want, this one's a fun one, not war related, not historical, but Alexis Daria has an Audible original. So it's only an audio. It's a short one, maybe like an hour and a half or 2.5 hours. It's called What the Hex. It's contemporary romance. So it's there's a fictional island off of Miami, like right off of the shores of Miami, and it's a Latinx community of like witches, and so it's a contemporary paranormal romance, and I'm about an hour in, but it's really good, really cute.
Sounds fun.
And the idea of the witchcraft that she's different people have different skills, and how she calls the boat that's going to take her, how the boat appears when she's on the pier, kind of similar to like 9 3/4, where you have to run towards the, in Harry Potter. So there's something that she has to do to make the fairy arrive and all of that. So it's been a fun listen to so far.
Yeah. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. One thing we didn't get a chance to ask Priscilla is, with your book, Angered Hearts, is there any like fun anecdote or background, information that didn't make it in the book, or a story about when you were writing it? That
or some random,
Well, I will say, like I grew up there, and since I moved back because I live in Florida, so usually a couple times a year, pre-pandemic or not in pandemic times, we would go down like to visit. I have a lot of friends there, or my sister and I. But I made one specific research trip, and the way I came upon the idea of like a family of firefighter paramedics, one, like it's a romance trope, but two, my sister and I grew up with a family that has 5 brothers, and the middle one was in her grade, the next one was in my grade, and then the youngest was a year behind me. And 4 of those brothers, 4 of the Sellers boys, or now men, but they're still like Sellers boys when we talk about them, are all firefighter paramedics, along with some of their family. And thanks to like social media, we've stayed in contact. When we go down, we usually would have like dinner with one or some of them. And so when that came into my head about I want to set a series in Key West, and what would be I thought about them. And being a mom of 3 girls, I wanted to have a sister in the mix, not all brothers. So enter Ana Maria, But Eric and Keith and Mark, three of the brothers, have been wonderful about letting me pick their brain, and Eric would get on the phone with me, and Keith like showed me around his firehouse, and Eric set up for me to spend a day riding along and hanging out at two of the firehouses.
Wow.
And so Papi and I took a trip. I'm blessed. My parents are really good, and I had like a ton of paper grading to do for school. And it's an 8-hour drive. And Papi said, "Look, I'll drive and you can grade papers." And then while I researched, he hung out with old friends, from Key West. And so we drove down specifically to research and for that. And I showed pictures. Actually, I don't think I shared them on social media because I only shared it with my newsletter subscribers. So if you want insider information, you should subscribe to my newsletter. But I have pictures. The second firehouse that I visited, there was a firefighter paramedic named Daniela, and so I spent a lot of time talking with her. And there, I got to dress out, in full gear. And in Anchored Hearts, there is a scene where Alejandro comes by the firehouse and Ana Maria's there, and she's like doing some drills. And those drills, like the idea for that scene came from, they let me try to do like, they were doing like exercise drills. So like trying to lift up that big old tire, right? You had to move it like 50 feet, and carrying these jugs of water and going upstairs with a bag of sand on your shoulder and all of that. Hi, Barbara. She must be in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
So that scene, or the idea for that scene, came from that day that I got to go hang out, with the firefighters, and I just Daniela like kicked. I almost said ass, but Daniela kicked butt. That day, and she was just a true. I had Ana Maria in my head already, but seeing Daniela in action kind of helped Ana Maria, breathed like real life into her. And so it was an awesome experience.
Oh, that's amazing. I have to imagine being an EMT paramedic in Key West is very different than a lot of other places. Because the things they must encounter have to be really interesting.
Well, you also do like Eric and some of the other brothers are like dive masters, and so I'll say the idea that Luis has a dive boat. That's Eric. Eric has a dive boat. He's taken us out a couple times. But so they don't have a lot of like big building fires. We don't have sky rises, but there's still like a lot of car accidents. There's things that happen on the water that they also have to respond to.
All the tourists that come into town and are
drinking on Duval Street.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. Lots of tourists and local, issues and stuff like that. But it's been fun. Like the Navarro Familia home in Island Affair, Luis and Sarah are driving up the Keys to Big Coppet, and that's after my papi retired. And from the Navy, and we were staying there. We bought a house up in Big Coppet. So the street that the Navarros live on is the street where I used to live on. And so it's been fun playing make-believe, in my island home. And some things are there, like Luis takes Sarah's familia to El Mesón de Pepe, and they go to see sunset at Mallory Square, and you can totally do that, right? And we always will go see if Caribe is playing. It's a small band that plays right outside, so you can dance on the cobblestones there. But Alejandro's familia's restaurant, Miranda's, is not a real place, obviously, and it's in the place where there used to be a restaurant called Bees, and we would go there for lunch. When lunches were open at school. Now it's just a strip mall. Bees isn't there anymore. But in my story world, you could go to Miranda's and have food there. Yeah. Oh yes, Sharon, the best sunsets on Mallory Square Mallory Square, or even in book one, they go to the pier off, South Beach. Not South Beach in Miami, with South Beach in Key West, and so you can see the sunsets there too. So it's been fun taking readers home.
Yes, we've been down there a few times, and it's one of my favorite places. So,
and if you drive it, unless there's traffic. I will say it should be like a 3-hour drive from Miami down to Key West, but it has been a 7-hour drive, like if there's a car accident, but it's a beautiful drive,
Unbelievable.
So
Unbelievable.
yeah.
A+.
Yes.
All right, we should probably call it a day because we normally keep this really short.
Oh, yes.
Around 30 minutes. So we've had a habit of doing that lately.
We're having too much fun talking about stuff.
Sure.
I went off about that scrubber product last week. So
she did.
With Sonali?
Yes, yeah, that was fun. But thank you for joining us, Priscilla. We're glad that you could make it and dodging traffic and cross country from where you normally are and all those good things. So thank you for joining us.
Oh, no, I appreciate you letting me come on. It's so nice to chat with you and with everyone in the comments. Thank you so much for the warm welcome.
Thank you. We're so happy you're a new puppy. Yay!
Yay!
All right, Blooms, we will see you next week on the Bloom Room. Goodbye.
Yes, everyone.